Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. And first, we welcome David and Wesley. Now, where are you two from?
From Stevenage in Hertfordshire.
Very good indeed. And how did you know each other?
We met 13 years ago at university on the same course.
What was the course?
Music and drama degree.
Are you involved in music and drama to this day?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, David does some songwriting and I still sing as well, so... Yeah.
Is that a profession, David, your songwriting?
No, that's just more of a hobby now.
And by light of day, what did you do?
My day job, I'm a retail manager.
Very good. How about you, Wesley?
I'm a business improvement manager for a housing company in Stevenage.
I see, right. It's great to have you here. Welcome to the show. And next, we welcome Sharon and Catherine. Now, how do you two know each other?
We're twin sisters.
Are you identical twins?
We are, yes.
Do you have similar interests?
We do, yes.
Well, I think we might have to... How good is your ESP? Are you very good at just thinking something? Catherine, can you think something so Sharon can say it?
It might be rude, so I'd rather not. It was.
What are your interests, Sharon?
Mainly 1980s pop music. I love Ultravox, Mid-Yaw.
Sharon, I want you to think of an Ultravox single, not the famous one that didn't get to #1, not that one, another one, any of the other Ultravox singles, any of them. And Catherine, I want you to tell us which one she's thinking of.
Reap the Wild Wind. Was it? That was.
That has ruined the Ultravox round I had planned.
It's fabulous having you on the show. Welcome to it.
Thank you.
And next, we welcome back Betty and Sophie. This is your second time on the show. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your last chance. Remind us what happened last time.
We got knocked out in the second round, unfortunately. Didn't deserve to. We were brilliant. Yeah.
You didn't at all. Remind us what it was.
Postcodes. British postcodes.
Milton Keynes. You're from Milton Keynes,
City
Betty.
of Dreams.
And you're from Lincoln, which is near Hull.
And I thought it was Huddersfield.
Absolute nightmare. We're going to do better today.
Yeah.
As we discovered last time, both of you are studying illustrating at Lincoln. When you're not illustrating at Lincoln, what do you like to do?
I like to watch soaps. that's my biggest hobby.
You're a student.
Yeah.
And quiz
Not
shows,
gonna lie.
presumably, as
Yeah,
well.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's #1.
Are you a good team? Have you worked as a team before?
We have branded ourselves the Quizzards.
Yeah. OK, well, listen, Team Quizzard, the very best of luck to you. It's great to have you back. And finally, we welcome Christine and Ron. You were also on the show last time. Remind us what happened to you.
We got through to the head-to-head, and we went out on...
Land borders with Brazil.
That's right.
Geography, not
Argentina.
our strong point.
Yes, that was tough. That was a very tough
Geography. We had a bit of luck because we had 3 on our side.
Of course, yes. Very good. And this is the first grandfather, granddaughter, great-grandchild team we've yet fielded. You are watching Pointless History, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, it's wonderful to have you back. Welcome back to the show. Enjoy it and very best of luck. We will find out more about all of you throughout the show as it goes along. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He takes the greatest pleasure from the most obscure things. He is my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hiya. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Richard.
Should be a good show today. 2 very good returning pairs. Christine and Ron got knocked out in the head-to-head. Usually a good sign for the next show. And Betty and Sophie, I think, slightly unlucky to get knocked out as well. So I think both very strong. Obviously a huge advantage to be twins and to be psychically linked. Is that cheating, technically?
I tell you what, perhaps what we should do is just put a thing of lead, like sort of lead-lined partition between them.
Would you mind, Sharon and Catherine, if we put a lead-lined partition? Are you sure? Should be a good show. Round 1 is, I think, it might be the first show in Pointless History my 10-year-old son would do better at than me.
Very good. Well, looking forward to that.
That's because he's an expert in ancient Etruscan art, and that's what round 1 is about.
Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they possibly can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £6,000. Let's play pointless. OK, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. OK, our first category is sci-fi. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Star Wars characters as they could.
Yeah, all the correct answers in this round are characters from any of the 6 live-action Star Wars films.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, David and Wesley, you will do lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So, Wesley, in this round, you'll be delighted to hear we are going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers on the board. Your first 7 reads like this. Anakin Skywalker, Chewbacca, Max Rebo, TC-14, Coco, Count Dooku, and DC-01. There we are. I'm going to read those one more time. Anakin Skywalker, Chewbacca, Max Rebo, TC-14, Coco, Count Dooku, DC-01. Now, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, but be very careful because there's also at least one incorrect answer on that board. Pick an incorrect answer and you will, of course, score the maximum of 100 points. Now then, Wesley.
Right. I'm going to go with a stab in the dark. I think this is a character, but the only ones I know I think will be very popular ones. I'm going to go with Max Rebo.
Max Rebo.
Yeah.
That's a guess.
Yes.
Let's see if it's the right answer. If it is, let's see how many people said it. Max Rebo. It's right. Very well done, Wesley. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £6,250, and it scores you nothing.
Well done, Wesley. You took a risk and it paid off. Sometimes they don't. It certainly did now. Max Rebo is a musician in Return of the Jedi.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Very well done, Wesley. Now then, Catherine, Star Wars.
Yes.
You know Star Wars.
I was hoping that it would be Star Trek.
Oh, no.
I think I will play it safe and say Chewbacca.
You're going to say Chewbacca?
Yes.
OK, let's see if Chewbacca is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Chewbacca. It's right. 43. 43, it's right. Quite a big score, though. Chewbacca, Richard.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, though, Catherine. Chewbacca the Wookiee, of course, appears in the original trilogy and then later in Revenge of the Sith as well.
OK, thank you very much. Now then, Betty. Betty, Star Wars, something I think you might know a lot about.
Well, I'm going to be brave, and I really, really hope that Sophie won't hate me. I'm going to make a guess. So I am going to say Count Dooku?
Count Dooku.
Yeah, I think he might be blue, but that's just me.
OK, Count Dooku. There he is, one up from the bottom, Count Dooku. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Count Dooku, good luck. Very well done, Betty, very well done. Very, very well done, Betty.
Is he blue?
We'll discover in a second. Count Dooku was a correct answer and a brilliant score. Well done, Betty. Richard.
Yeah, Count Dooku, he's not blue, I'm afraid. He's a Jedi Knight gone bad, played by Christopher Lee.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty good, eh?
Sounds sexy.
Yeah. If you like non-blue Jedi Knights, yeah, he's pretty sexy.
I can, don't want to boast, but I can usually do I usually do 2 out of 3 of the Count Dooku's on the back of the Times. It's not, yeah, I don't want to boast. OK, now then, Christine.
Yes.
Christine, Star Wars characters. You've seen all the Star Wars films.
I've seen all 6 of them.
This is your board. You can talk us through the board if you like. Take us through every single one and then pick one at the end.
Well, I know there's a CP30, but I don't know about a TC14 or a DC01. Coco, I've no idea, but I know that Anakin Skywalker was the young Darth Vader, so I'm going to go for that one.
Anakin Skywalker, you're saying. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Anakin Skywalker.
Yes.
Down it goes, 14. That's a great answer, Christine. Well done. Anakin Skywalker, 14. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Christine. The central character in the prequel trilogy, later to become Darth Vader. There's a couple of incorrect answers there. Coco is not from Star Wars. Coco's from the Mikado. Exactly right. So it's an incorrect answer. And of those other 2, TC14 and DC01, one of those is a correct answer, and one of those is pointless.
I think I use TC14 on my contact lenses every morning. So I'm going to go DC01.
DC01 is a vacuum cleaner, I'm afraid. So not a Star Wars character. Incorrect answer. TC14 is a droid from the Phantom Menace. So it's a pointless answer. Very well done if you said TC14 or Max Rebo.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. We're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. Wesley, well, what can I say?
I guess.
A pointless answer straight out of the stalls. Look at that, brilliant. And then we go up to Betty and Sophie, not far ahead on 2. Then up to 14, Christine and Ron. And then 43, Catherine and Sharon. That's not a terrible score, but I'm afraid it does put you considerably ahead of the field. So yes, Sharon, you're going to have to find a really good answer on the next pass if you're to stay in the game. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. We are looking for Star Wars characters, remember, and we have got Ban Ki-moon, Qui-Gon Jinn, Yossarian, Jar Jar Binks, Bosk, Han Solo, and Greedo. I'll read those one more time. Ban Ki-moon, Qui-Gon Jinn, Yossarian, Jar Jar Binks, Bosk, Han Solo, and Greedo. And again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, and at least one of those answers is incorrect. So try and avoid those incorrect ones. Oh, Ron. Did you ever watch any of the Star Wars films?
Certainly not.
Well, I tell you what, nor did Wesley, to be fair. And look, pointless.
Right, we'll have a stab. Jar Jar Binks.
You're going to go for Jar Jar Binks. There's your red line. If Jar Jar Binks gets you below that red line, Ron, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Jar Jar Binks. Very well done, Ron. Look at that. Brilliant. 13, that scores you, takes your total up to 27. Very well done indeed. Jar Jar Binks, Richard.
Yeah, well done, Ron. Avoided any incorrect answers. There's a fairly big part in the Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks, and then severely reduced after that. A huge backlash from Star Wars fans.
I would say by a margin the most irritating character yet to have appeared on screen.
Yeah. I don't think many people would disagree with you.
So then, Sophie, the high scorers remain. Sharon and Catherine on 43. You and Betty are sitting on 2. If you can score 40 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round. Is this a good category for you?
Not particularly. My housemates will be screaming at the television. I just haven't a clue, really. But there is one that I recognise, so I think I'll go for that, having got a nice low score, and say Han Solo.
Han Solo, there he is, one up from the bottom. Han Solo, you are saying. There's your red line. If Han Solo gets you below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Han Solo. Well, that scored you 42, which takes your total up to 44. Don't worry, it's not the end of the world. There are still 2 pairs left to answer. Anything could happen. Richard.
Yeah, very close now. Played by Harrison Ford, of course, in the original 3 films, Mercenary and Smuggler.
Thank you very much. And so, Sharon, we come to you. Now, remember, we are looking for Star Wars characters. You aren't the high scorers. The high scorers are a point ahead of you on 44, Sophie and Betty, which means if you want to be absolutely certain of staying in the game, you have to score a pointless answer.
Right, I have seen Star Wars films with my children, but didn't particularly take any interest in the characters. So this is going to be a complete gamble. I'm going to go for Yossarian.
Yossarian, there it is. Let's see if Yossarian is a correct answer. Obviously, there is a red line for you, actually, but you won't be able to see it. It's right down there. Let's see if Yossarian's right. If it is, let's see how many people said Yossarian. Bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. I'm afraid Yossarian is an incorrect answer, which means you scored a maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to 143. Bad luck. Richard.
Yeah, Yossarian, as I suspect some people at home will know, he's the main character in Catch-22, the Joseph Heller novel.
And so we come to you, David and Wesley. Now, then, thanks to Wesley's fantastic low score, you have been looking pretty good all the way through, but now, thanks to the high score of Sharon and Catherine of 143, you are definitely through, even if you score 100 points. You won't overtake their high score. So we're looking for Star Wars characters. David, did you watch the Star Wars, all 6 of them?
I haven't seen any of them.
OK, well, listen, here's fun. Here's fun because it doesn't matter what you score, and there is still at least 1 pointless answer on that board. See if you can equal Wesley's pointless answer by finding another and adding another 250 quid to the jackpot. What about that?
From the bottom, Greedo, that sounds more Lord of the Rings. Bosk, I like the look of. Qui-Gon Jinn, no idea. And Ban Ki-moon, I would love to be right. I have no idea, so I'm going to guess Bosk.
Bosk, you are going to say. Let's see if Bosk is correct. And if it is, let's see how many people said Bosk. Well done, it's right. Look at that! Very, very well done indeed, David. That is fantastic. A pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot. Takes the total up to 6,500. It scores you nothing and leaves your total at nothing. A brilliant total. Richard.
Yeah, that's certainly one way to play the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolute blind luck. I think that might be our first ever blind luck double pointless. So congratulations, very, very good. Let's take a look at the rest of the board, fill it in for you. Qui-Gon Jinn is the Liam Neeson character, would have scored you very, very low 1 point, so very well done if you said that. There's 2 answers left there. One is pointless, one is incorrect. One of them is a bounty hunter from Tatooine. The other one is the current Secretary General of the United Nations. Which do you think is which?
Senor Greedo, UN Secretary General.
Oh, you're so close. Greedo was from the original Star Wars film, was a pointless answer. Well done if you said that. And as of April 2011, Ban Ki-moon is the Secretary General of the UN. It's an incorrect answer. Very well done if you said Greedo or Bosk at home. Those are the pointless answers there.
Thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, Sharon and Catherine. You see, there's no point having an ESP between you if neither of you knows the category. I'm sorry about that. However, I mean, you didn't do badly. I mean, Chewbacca, Yossarian could easily have been a Star Wars kind of character, but alas, he wasn't. But it's been lovely having you on the show. We'll see you again next time. We look forward to it. Thanks very much. Thank you. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well, now, obviously, there's only room for 2 pairs on the head-to-head round, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. Make sure it's not you. The category for round 2 this afternoon is football. Football. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And our round 2 question concerns European football teams and their countries. Richard.
Yeah, on each pass, we're going to show you a list of 6 professional football teams from Europe. We asked 100 people in which country do they play. The more obscure answers will score you the fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, you're going to score 100 points.
Thanks very much, Richard. So we are looking for the European countries in which these football teams play professionally. And we have got Anderlecht, Real Sociedad, Steaua Bucharest, Juventus, Red Star Belgrade and St Etienne. I'll read those again. Anderlecht, Real Sociedad, Steaua Bucharest, Juventus, Red Star Belgrade and St Etienne. There are the 6 teams. You need to give me the countries in which those football clubs play professionally. Now then, David, is this a good category for you?
This probably couldn't get any worse for me.
OK.
I'm going to give one a guess.
What's it going to be?
I'm going to go for Saint Etienne, and I'm going to say France, and hope I don't look really silly.
St Etienne, France. Well, sounds fair enough to me. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. St Etienne, France. Good luck. It's right. 56, though. It's quite a high score, but it's a lot better than 100. Well done. St Etienne, France.
Yeah, very big in the 70s. St Etienne have fallen on harder times since.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Sophie.
See, this is terrible because my dad is a sports journalist. He'll know all of these, and him and my brother will be screaming at
It's
the
postcodes all over again, Sophie.
Postcodes all over again. I'm going to go for Anderlecht and think that sounds German.
Anderlecht.
Yeah.
German. Sometimes I can tell from the murmur or the inhalation from the crowd.
Oh, no.
Whether or not that's right, I can't tell.
I think
I can't tell. There's only one way to find out. Sophie, Anderlecht, Germany, you are saying. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Good luck. Oh, bad luck, Sophie. I'm afraid that's what that noise meant. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. Bad luck. Anderlecht. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Sophie. Anderlecht, not German. I won't say what they are just in case Christine wants to have a go at the same question.
OK, now, Christine, you're the last person to have this board, so you can talk us through every team on it, if you like.
If my husband was here, he would start from the top and read them all out and probably get them all right, but I have not got a clue. I've heard of Juventus, and the rest of them I haven't even heard of them. So I think I'll have to go for Juventus, and I think it might be Italy.
Juventus, Italy, you're saying. OK,
Yeah.
very good. Juventus, Italy. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Italy for Juventus. Well, that's right. Down it goes, 43. The best answer on the pass. Juventus, Richard.
Yeah, Juventus, well done. European champions in 1985 and 1996. Let's take a look through the rest of the board. Not really a football board, this one. A lot of it's geography. Real Sociedad, or Sociedad is in Spain, so they are a Spanish team, 39 points. Anderlecht, it's not Germany, sounds like it is, but they're actually a Belgian team. Belgian champions 30 times, would have scored you 24 points. Steaua Bucharest are based in Bucharest, so they are Romanian, would have scored you 15. And Red Star Belgrade, obviously in Belgrade, which is Serbia, that's 7 points. Well done if you said Red Star Belgrade. That's the best answer on the board.
Thank you very much, Richard. OK, well, we'll have a look at the scores as we're halfway through the round. Christine and Ron, the best score there, 43. Very well done with Juventus. Then David and Wesley on 56, thanks to St Etienne. And bad luck with Anderlecht there, Sophie. That cost you dear. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more teams on the board, and here they are. We have got St Patrick's Athletic, FC Shakhtar Donetsk, Panathinaikos, Rosenborg, BSC Young Boys and SL Benfica. I'll read those one more time. St Patrick's Athletic, FC Shakhtar Donetsk, Panathinaikos, Rosenborg, BSC Young Boys and SL Benfica. Now remember, we are looking for the European countries in which these teams play, and you're trying to find the one, obviously, that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now, Ron.
I'm all right at English football, but not the... They're all such long names as well. I'll go for Panathinaikos, Greece.
Panathinaikos, Greece, you are saying. The high scorers are Betty and Sophie on 100. If you can score 56 or less with Panathinaikos, Greece, you're through to the head-to-head. There's your red line. Below that red line, you've done it. Panathinaikos, Greece. Is it right? How many people said it? Well done, Ron. Head-to-head. 48, that scored you. Takes your total up to 91. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Ron. Safely through Panathinaikos. They're Champions League regulars from Greece.
Now then, Betty. These next two answers are going to be crucial. At the moment, you are the high scorers on 100. You just have to score as low as you possibly can. Now, I'm really hoping that somewhere on that board is a team you've heard of and you know which country it's from. Oh, no.
I prefer rugby because I think the men have nicer thighs.
Yeah.
And they tend to have, I like men with beards and they had a beard, you know, yeah, sorry. Anyway, I'm just going to take a guess. I think Sophie would do the same as me. I'm going to go, is it Rosenborg?
Rosenborg.
I'm going to say Sweden.
Rosenborg, Sweden. OK, there's no red line for you, obviously, because you are the high scorers. We will just have to see. Rosenborg. Is it right? How many people said it if it is? Rosenborg, Sweden. Oh.
Sorry.
Bad luck, Betty. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which means you scored a maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to an unbeatable, I'm afraid, 200 points. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky, Betty. I won't give you the answer just in case Wesley wants to have a go at the same question.
So then, Wesley. Well, the good news is you and David, once again, can answer in the second pass, knowing that you are through to the next round.
There's a couple, I think. Well, the FC Shakhtar Donetsk sounds like a mixture between an Israeli and a Russian team, so I don't know. And I'm thinking SL Benfica might be a Spanish team, but we've already had Spain, so I don't know if we can have more than one team in a country. I'm going to go with St. Patrick's Athletic and Ireland. And hope.
Stands to reason, doesn't it? St. Patrick's Athletic Ireland, you're saying. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. No red line for you, obviously, because you're already through to the head-to-head. Yes, it's right. Well done, Wesley. 51, that scores you. Takes your total up to 107. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Wesley. Irish champions 8 times. Let's take a look at all of the answers then. The biggest scorer on that board that we haven't done is Benfica, who are Portuguese, 26 points. Then next it's Young Boys. They're more familiarly known as Young Boys of Bern, and they are from Switzerland. 18. FC Shakhtar Donetsk. I had the great pleasure of watching Fulham beat them in the Europa Cup. They are from Ukraine. Would have scored you 10 points. And Rosenborg are from Norway, I'm afraid. Would have scored you 6 points. Based in Trondheim. That was a much harder board, that one. Very well done if you got one of those low scorers on that board.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, Betty and Sophie. Oh, we haven't looked after you at all well, have we?
You're terrible.
Yeah, we've given you European football clubs, we gave you Star Wars. I'm sorry. You went out round 2 last time, you've gone out round 2 this time. It's consistent, but I'm disappointed, is all I can say. I was hoping to see you holding aloft the pointless trophy.
That's all we came for. We don't really care about the money. We just wanted the trophy.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's not to be. Anyway, it's been lovely for us to have you. Thank you so much for playing. Wonderful contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done, David and Wesley, Christine and Ron. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £6,500. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Monopoly spaces worth £200 or more.
Yeah, there are 16 spaces on the standard UK London Monopoly board that are worth £200 or more, which is the most obscure of those. And how many of them can you name at home?
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, David and Wesley, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. We are looking for Monopoly spaces worth £200 or more.
Yes.
OK, we have an answer.
Yes. We're going to say the Strand.
The Strand. OK, the Strand. Christine and Ron, a Monopoly space worth £200 or more. The Strand has gone.
We do not play a lot of Monopoly. So I think they're probably quite popular ones, but we can only think of Mayfair or Park Lane. So I think we'll go with Mayfair. Yeah.
Mayfair, yes.
Mayfair.
Mayfair, you are saying. OK, we have the Strand and we have Mayfair. OK, the Strand. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said the Strand. Very well done, it's right. There it goes, 15. That's a great answer, 15 for the Strand. Now, Christine and Ron, you have gone for Mayfair.
I think a lot more people will have said it than 15.
Only one way to find out. Mayfair, is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? Very well done, right. 65. As you guessed, that was a high score there for Mayfair, which means, after the first question, David and Wesley are ahead 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, well played, David and Wesley. It's actually the high scorer of all, Mayfair. Let's take a look at the things that would have beaten the Strand, though. There's a few of them. Right at the bottom, Coventry Street. Very well done if you said that. Would have scored you 2. King's Cross Station 6, Vine Street 7, Liverpool Street Station 8, Fenchurch Street Station 10, and the last of the stations, Marylebone, on 11. There's the Strand, 15 points. 16, Leicester Square 20, Trafalgar Square 26, and Oxford Street 27. And the big hitters here, Piccadilly 29, Bond Street 30, and Regent Street 31. And at the top, the two most valuable of all, actually, Park Lane with 52, and Mayfair, as we've already seen, with 65.
Thank you very much, Richard. OK, here is your second question. Christine and Ron, you have to win this question. Stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Herbie films as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any feature film which had a general cinema release which starred the VW Beetle Herbie. Not looking for any TV films or TV series. Any Herbie film up to April 2011, please.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Christine and Ron, you get to go first.
Maybe Herbie rides again.
OK.
Well, we don't know. This is a complete kind of guess. It's come out of my head from somewhere, but we're going to go for Herbie rides again.
Herbie rides again. OK, that's just come from thin air.
Yes.
Herbie rides again. Well, good luck with that. David and Wesley, what are you going to say?
I love the Herbie films, so it's just which one between Herbie Goes Bananas, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo,
And the Love Bug original.
or the Love Bug. Would you reckon bananas?
Why do we know this? Sorry.
I love it. They're great. Do I go bananas?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go bananas. Can we, Herbie Goes Bananas?
Herbie Goes Bananas. We have Herbie Rides Again and we have Herbie Goes Bananas. Herbie Rides Again, you said, Christine, and you plucked it from nowhere.
I don't know.
Just from the back of your head. Somewhere there it was lodged. Herbie Rides Again. Well, let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how it did. Herbie Rides Again. Look at that. Absolutely right. Very well done, 33. Not a bad score at all, Christine. The question is, will Herbie Goes Bananas beat it? Only one way to find out. If this wins, David and Wesley, you are through to the final and will be playing for that jackpot of £6,500. Herbie Goes Bananas, is it right? How many people said it? It's right! You've done it. You've done it. 24 beats 33. Which means after only 2 questions, David and Wesley are through to the final 2-0. Richard.
Yeah, well played, David and Wesley. It's one of those categories you think you don't know anything, but they're all tucked away there somewhere. You actually mentioned, I think, all of the films, apart from the one with the best score of all, which is one you could have gone for, which is the most recent one, with Lindsay Lohan, which is Herbie Fully Loaded, would have scored you 4 points. There's The Love Bug, the original film. scored 14. Herbie goes to Monte Carlo, 15, during which Herbie goes to Monte Carlo. Herbie goes bananas on 24, don't know what happens in that one. And Herbie rides again, which was the second film, with 33 points. Very well done if you got all 5 of those at home. I say well done.
Thank you very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid, is Christine and Ron. Through to the head-to-head, which is no mean feat in both Pointless episodes you've been in.
Yeah.
It's been fabulous having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Brilliant. Christine and Ron.
Thank you.
But for David and Wesley, it's now time for our Pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £6,500. Well, congratulations, David and Wesley. You've fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophies. Very well done. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £6,500. Now, the rules are very, very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We've had 2 pointless answers on the show today, and you are responsible for both of them. You only have to find one more pointless answer, and you will go home with that £6,500. Firstly, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are American novelists, song titles, golf.
And I think we can safely rule out golf.
Immediately.
American novelists could be modern, or it could be something we know nothing about.
I was probably thinking song titles, but if it was a completely obscure band we've never heard of or something...
I think it's our best shot.
It's our best shot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So...
Song titles, please.
Song titles it is. OK, well, let's find out what the question is. What would you like it to be? What would be a good category?
Britney Spears songs. A-set.
And Wesley?
Or musical song titles.
Let's find out. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many UK hit singles with New York in the title.
Yeah, guys, we're looking for any single that's ever reached the UK top 40 that has the word New York in its title prior to the beginning of April 2011.
Thank you very much, Richard. OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £6,500 jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
OK.
New York, New York.
Yeah, that'd be really popular, but yeah, that's one, isn't it? Isn't it one that's like New York State of Mind or something?
Empire State of Mind, but I don't know if New York's in the title.
Oh, right, OK.
And then she did a single, Empire State of Mind Part 2, but I don't think New York's in the title.
Right, OK.
Come on, give me
so
some...
So we've got New York, New York. Is there something like New York Times? There's a song with the word Times in it as well?
Do you know any songs with New York in the title, Wes?
No. Oh, no. Right, OK. Well, we've obviously got New York, New York. We've got, oh, no. We'll have to make some up, right? Is there something called New York Tale, or a Tale of New York, or something?
Tale of Two Cities, that's...
No, I was thinking it might be something called New York Tale, or New York Story. New York City.
Sounds
New
good.
York. But we're going to have to just make
Do you know any
them
musical
up.
songs with New York?
5 seconds.
No, they'll be in the top 40 of singles, though.
So we're just going to make some up.
Yeah, we're going to have to. What about this?
OK, well, there is your
Oh,
minute.
okay.
There's your minute. OK, here's fun. We were looking for songs with New York in the title. I now need your 3 answers.
OK. So...
First one
There's no
is...
point saying New York, New York, so what's the one you made up?
Well,
New York Tale.
If we've seen 3, we may as well say...
OK, let's say it for fun. New York, New York.
New York, New York.
Do you say New York Tale?
New York Story.
New York Story.
New York Story. And the third one
is...
Is everyone only in New York or something like that?
Once Upon a Time in New York.
Yes. Go on, Phil.
Once Upon a Time in New York. I tell you what, David, if somebody hasn't written that song, you get yourself straight to the piano. Of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Well, I think
New York Story, if it's a right answer, will be pointless.
Either of the
most likely.
second 2, if they exist, probably will be.
OK, New York Story we'll put last. Which should we put first, your least likely punter?
New York, New York.
So
We'll
New
get
York,
out
New
of the way.
York, Once Upon a Time in New York, New York Story. OK, well, let's put them up on the board in that order, and here they are. New York, New York, Once Upon a Time in New York, and New York Story. OK, we were looking for UK Top 40 singles with New York in the title. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer, remember, to win that £6,500 jackpot. So, New York, New York. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said New York, New York. Well, it's right. You thought this might be quite a high scorer. Let's find out. Yes, it is. 70. 70. Now, unfortunately, that is not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more chances to win our jackpot of £6,500. If you were to win £6,500, if you were to walk away with £6,500, what would you do with it?
Go to New York.
It is actually what we would do. It really is what we said we'd do. A friend of ours lives in New York and we haven't seen him for a while. We were going to go out to visit him. OK, so a trip to New York. And then some, I should think. Yeah. OK, well, there we are. Here is your second answer. Once upon a time in New York. Once upon a time in New York. This has to be pointless to win that jackpot, £6,500. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Once Upon a Time in New York. Oh, right, that's a song yet to be written. Bad luck, that's an incorrect answer, which means you only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. New York Story. New York Story. You were pretty sure there was a story somewhere, wasn't there? A New York story, a tale. Yeah, something with the word story connected to New York. Yeah, maybe Tale of New York Story, but...
Yeah. OK, we were looking for songs with New York in the title. You said this was the answer you were most confident with. This has to be pointless, obviously, if you're going to win that jackpot of £6,500. New York Story. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. New York Story. Best of luck. No! Bad luck. Well, unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £6,500, which will roll over onto the next show. But you have been fantastic contestants. You do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy, so very well done. So, Richard, what were the pointless answers?
Well, unlucky guys. Of course, the most famous tale of New York is Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl, which is a #2 originally. It's been in the charts virtually every year since. There's also Englishman in New York. That was a high scorer. Native New Yorker. That was a big scorer as well. But let's take a look at the pointless answers. There's some fairly big songs here, so people at home may well have got a pointless here. Let's take a look. A Night in New York, that's by Elbow Bones and the Racketeers, apparently. That was pointless. Boy from New York City by Darts, a #2 hit. That was a pointless answer. From New York to LA, another top 10 hit. Patsy Gallant in the late 70s, a big hit. King of New York, that's Fun-Loving Criminals. R.E.M. had a top 10 single with Leave in New York. New York City Boys, Pet Shop Boys, that was pointless. New York City Cops by The Strokes, that was pointless. New York Groove, that was a top 10 hit for Hello. And the Bee Gees' first ever hit single was New York Mining Disaster, 1941. Very well done if you've got any of those at home.
Well, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, David and Wesley. It's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Brilliant contestants. Nobody's won our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £7,500. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.